designed to do certain things, and the woman is designed to do certain things. She's designed to support, to empower, and to create create, what do you call that? To give the problem to the man, to point out the problem, to do the, what do you call that? The delegations, to pull the twigs together and to maintain the lighter end of it, because that's her build. That's what nature gave to her. So whatever problem she has over there, the man has the logic and the ability to lead the way and to fix the problem and to maintain it, to make sure that he and her is working well. She is a leader in her own skin, and he is a leader in his own skin, based on the design of nature. That doesn't mean one is better than the other. That means we have a job to do that nature chose us to do. And should we deviate from that job, should we deviate from our nature, should we deviate what we are designed to do, we die. So what are you going through today? What's going on with marriage? Dying. What's going on with family today? Can you tell me? Dying. What's going on with trust? Oh, it's dying. What's going on with the children of tomorrow and their future? Is it bright? Is it successful? What is it looking like? Oh, Morpheus, it's dying. You got it? Because we have jumped out of the design of nature, because we thought it was a man's design. You can't help but think it was a man's design when you hear this idea of the false church telling you that God is a he, him, and father have created the heavens and the earth. You can't create anything without a polarous opposite. You got it? There have to be a polarous opposite. And what will be wrong for God not to have a woman somewhere to birth the earth? Y'all don't want to hear that. It'd be more like, no, I don't understand that. Well, the unity between earth and humans is actually an intimate connection there. Because if you talk about nature, nature has a very intimate, intricate energy and bonding to the human species, or to us as earthlings that are roaming its surface. It may not be physical the way that you do with your own phylum, but it is still an intimate connection where you can consider Earth as Mother Earth, as fertile, where you can create farmlands, you can create fruits and vegetables from her soil. And you can say the attributes of you being man have the ability to take these materials, these problems, and solve it by creating something from it, as what we have experienced today, which you have in your environment, your buildings, your wood log cabins, fossil fuels, chemicals, metals, or even concrete bricks, concrete sidewalks. Not to mention the plants, the many plants that's able to produce colors, painting, tea, juices that you may need in your everyday life. So it's an intimate connection. But because we are disconnected from our logic, because we're disconnected from science and how it all began, we are also disconnected from nature. So it goes hand in hand. So if we're disconnected man and womb man, you're disconnected human and earth as well. That's why you end up with your sickness. That's why the decline of humanity is on the rise. This is why our mind ain't straight. This is why our instincts is distorted, because if you eat from the proper fruit of Mother Earth, if you eat from her nurturing, providing nutritions and minerals that she has provided for you, it will heighten your instincts, make you smarter, stronger, live faster, and be more connected to the God species that you are within yourself. Not an indoctrinated program to deceive you and manipulate your mind and your children. So basically what you're telling me in this beginning phase of Genesis, that God is confused. that God is uncertain at this time to say, well, I'm going to create Adam for dumb, who goes along with the dumb program and story. And then afterwards, I'm going to stand there in front of Adam and say, Adam is missing something. Let me think like a human for a minute here. I don't know what Adam needs. I created Adam, but I don't understand what he needs. Let me stand here and think for about another generation and then figure out what Adam needs. Oh, I got it. Adam needs a partner. Duh, Sherlock. You are such an awesome moron God who don't understand things until the last minute. It's anthropomorphic attributes that we have brought into the story. You got it? Do you got it? And let's go further on when you talk about Noah's Ark. Okay, mind you, this scientist, this master scientist in this laboratory told us that we need to create mankind. So as, let's say, as dwarf people here, we walking around like Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory, the Oompa Loompas. Boop-ba, boop-ba, boopity doo. I have a story waiting for you. You are an idiot. You can't see. Dumb, 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 dumb. Use your brain. You got it? With the white suit and the red hair, the green hair and the orange face. We those people. So they say, okay, go ahead and create man. And of course, you got the story, and I'm not going to get into that because it's senseless and it hurts my stomach. Sometimes when things are very stupid, it hurts my stomach. So I can't talk about it. But the ideal of saying, let's make man in our own image, that sort of thing, I'm not even going to get into it because if you don't read and understand it for what it is, why do you call yourself an adult? Go back to first grade and start all over again. All right. Please do. But let's think about the creation all the way up to which led up to Noah's Ark. All right. I can pretty much bet around this time. This is where you have the Egyptians. You have Africans in Africa up there in Egypt messing around with the hieroglyphs and etching things and stuff like that. And they made a boat. They have a boat that's actually as big as the Ark that you can probably see now in the museum. It's large and it's big. If you want to talk about Noah's Ark, that was probably Noah's Ark that was created over there in Egypt. Okay, not this old story of this drunk dude with 3 or 4 different sons. We had no Black & Decker tools. All right, no Home Depot, nothing, and no test. No floating test. Everything you have today was tested before it gets out into the market. But yet he's able to create this huge monstrosity. All right, that you can probably see how big it was in Tennessee because of this person who had more money than common sense decided to create it. Okay, but give you an idea how big this ark was. All right, and it floated. What a joke and a half. But let me jump ship off of that one because I've already made an audio on it. Okay, it's called Noah's Ark Story. You'll see the Noah on there. Check that out. And the other one is called More Money Than Mind. All right, that will be part 2 of that story. Check that out. But all the way up until now, all right, you got it. My 4 or 5 followers who asked me these questions. All right, you got it thus far. So everything that was created was still the beginning of God. God's idea. God created this, your so-called man in the sky, your big guy in the sky, your human created God that man have created. Again, God created man. Man turned around and destroyed God and made God in man's image. That's why you have the catastrophe and the contradictions. And that's how you have 20 to 50 different religions, because it's mankind trying their best to maneuver and functionalize what they can't fathom to be a superior being greater than them. So they bring it down to their idea of life and make their life either comfortable, or they come up with a hierarchy where you have the minister, the pastor, the priest, and the leader of their group who's controlling all of them, and they go by it. There's something that a wise person said, and it makes a lot of sense. And he made it very simple. And he said this. He said, people want to be led. They don't want to lead. Followers want to follow. Puppets want to be puppets. Sheeple want to be sheeple. If you don't want to be, you're not going to be. So oftentimes those who are in those groups, they're in the congregation. They're sitting there like bobbleheads, like a little bobblehead and a zombie, beady eyes. And they're just sitting there. Tell me what to do. Tell me what to do. Tell me what to do. Please tell me what to do, because I know who I am. They want that. That's their choice in life. That's your free will that you're using because you want somebody to tell you who you are. That's a lovely place to be, because you want to know why? It's easy. You don't have to think. You have somebody thinking for you. All right. So leading all up until the Noah's Ark story, remember, everybody's created by God. Everyone was created by God. Not a thing on earth wasn't created by God, but yet God grieved creating mankind, and angry with mankind to the point where he felt like, here we go, felt feelings. He felt like he needed to destroy mankind because of their transgressions, because of their evil deeds. He said, men are never good. Men are always going to do evil. So I am going to wipe them from the face of the earth with a tremendous flood that's going to flood everything and everybody. Slow down. Wait a minute. Who did humans come from again? God. Who created their mindset? God. Who let them be who they was? Who was the one who dredged them out of your so-called ignorant story of out of the dirt? God did. So who should God be mad at that this creature is a failure? Oh, absolutely. It's God. He's the failure. It's the scientist himself. Therefore, if anybody should be upset, God should be upset at itself for its failure. We're in the laboratory here. You understand? Your flask is sitting on its own. The chemicals are not messing with anybody. Every solution in this science laboratory has no life to it. The only thing that's going to give it life is when we touch it and we start mixing it, and we bring the compounds together and start creating the buffers. You got what I'm saying? And adding electrodes and electrons and wires over here, putty over here. Do you understand? So if it fails, whose fault is it? Is it the chemical's fault that has no feelings? No, it's your fault. But let's go further, because we're smart people. You know, this is the 2020s and we are very intelligent. Let's go further. I'm trying to show you this is what I mean. When I say zombie, you will know for yourself. Yes, you got to be a zombie. You have to be a zombie not to see this. You got to be. Okay? You have to be. And the first thing they say, well, God is just testing you. And Morpheus is a false prophet. He is evil. He's speaking from the devil. Well, okay, then that means every scientist, every doctor, every person who has created your electronic cars and the light bulb and your roads and figured out how the human anatomy is created. I guess we are all devils then. I guess we're all mindless. I guess we are out of our minds, because everything comes with the experiment, and you are human. If you're not a human, then of course you don't need to. That is, if you're God, right? So that means every experiment, everything that's done by test and trial is not by a God, is done by a human or a species type person. But when you go to your churches and your religious circles and you're talking about this great entity who's able to stop your cocoa bean sickness, who's able to stop you from having a heart attack, who's able to prevent you from going up and going down 250 miles per hour with 250 other people. Okay, you expect that, but yet when it happens anyway, you're dumbfounded. And you still sitting there, well, I still believe that God exists, even though I still see the catastrophe around me. And then you say something stupid like, well, maybe it was their time. God does things for a reason. We just don't understand. Then why are you trying to teach the understanding of God in your circles? If you don't understand the mind of God, and God does things for specific crazy reasons, strange reasons, the way of God is strange, then why are you trying to sit here and understand something that you would never understand? Dumb.